Title: At the party, my wife's powerful boss came up to me and said, "Hey loser, I've been doing your wife for a year and you didn't even notice." I smirked, just like I did with your daughter and got her pregnant. Start: I never liked crowds. They're too loud, too careless. But that night, at my wife's company gala, I welcomed the noise. It gave me cover. It gave me time. I was standing by the bar when her boss walked up. Expensive suit, arrogance dripping off him like cologne. He leaned in, smirked, and spat out the kind of words that turn blood into fire. "Hey, loser," he sneered, breath hot with whiskey. "I've been doing your wife for a year, and you didn't even notice." I didn't flinch. I didn't blink. I smiled, slow, deliberate. "Just like I did with your daughter," I whispered back, "and got her pregnant." "Oh, we've got a surprise for you." His grin died. His face drained pale. He opened his mouth, but before sound could escape, the ballroom doors crashed open. Uniformed officers stormed in, voices sharp, guns drawn. And just like that, his nightmare began. There was a time I trusted her, my wife, my partner of 10 years. We built everything side by side, or so I thought. I remember her laughter, her gentle hand squeezing mine in the dark. I remember thinking I was safe with her. But trust is a glass window. One crack and it shatters. I found the crack by accident. A text on her phone she left on the counter, a name she claimed was work-related. I wasn't the kind of man to pry until that night. I read the message and my world shifted. His words to her weren't professional. They were vulgar, intimate, arrogant. Her boss, the man she praised at dinner, the man she said was like a mentor. Mentor, indeed. At first, I didn't want to believe it. But denial is just weakness in disguise. I paid attention. Late nights at the office. Clothes that smelled of a cologne I didn't wear. Her smile, too quick to fade when I entered the room. It all lined up. And then, the final nail. I followed her one night. Quiet, careful, invisible. I watched her walk into his house, watched the lights flicker on upstairs, watched shadows move where they shouldn't. I didn't rage. I didn't cry. I just stopped loving her. Right there on that cold street, I buried the man who trusted her, and I started building the man who would destroy them. Revenge isn't passion, it's patience. I began with information. I hacked into emails, collected texts, photographs. I dug into his finances, his deals, his side hustles. Men like him always have skeletons, and his closet was a graveyard. Fraud, kickbacks, a bribe or two, enough to put him away for decades. But I didn't stop there. His daughter, Emily, young, brilliant, and nothing like him. She hated her father's shadow. She wanted freedom. I gave her kindness, time, honesty, the things her father never gave anyone. Love grew where neither of us expected it. And when she told me she was pregnant, I saw destiny smiling. This wasn't just revenge anymore. It was justice, poetic and merciless. I went to the police, armed with evidence that painted him as the criminal he was. Every file, every timestamp, airtight. I knew they'd need a witness. I gave them more than that. I gave them motive. I gave them reason to act. But I didn't want it quiet. I wanted it public. So I timed it, the gala, his moment of pride, a night where his empire of lies stood tall. That's where I would make it crumble. I invited Emily. She stood in the back, hand on her stomach, calm, radiant. A silent promise that the future belonged to us, not him. And then, that moment. His drunken arrogance colliding with my calm truth. His words, meant to humiliate me, became the stage for his ruin. When I dropped my line about his daughter, I watched it happen. Shock, confusion, dawning horror. His lips trembled, his eyes darted. A man used to power, suddenly powerless.
And then the cops moved in. They pinned him to the floor, read him his rights as the entire ballroom fell silent. Phones came up, cameras flashed. His empire of respect, his carefully curated image, burned in real time. My wife screamed. She tried to defend him, tried to pull away from the officers. She ended up cuffed too, for aiding his schemes. Betrayal runs deep, after all. The party ended in chaos. Guests whispering, careers collapsing. The great man dragged out like trash. My wife's eyes met mine across the room, wild, desperate, pleading. I felt nothing. Later, in the station, she begged for forgiveness, swore she was trapped, that it meant nothing. But lies sound hollow when the mask is gone. I left her there, broken and exposed. Now I sit here, confessing not with guilt, but with clarity. I played the long game. I didn't scream, I didn't fight. I dismantled him piece by piece until there was nothing left. Emily is by my side. Our child will grow up free of his corruption, free of her betrayal. A new legacy, born from ashes. Revenge didn't heal me. It didn't erase the betrayal, but it gave me balance. It gave me justice. And justice tastes cold, sharp, and perfect. I warned him. I told them we had a surprise. Now he rots in prison. She drowns in regret. And I, always smiling.